Hello everyone, this is Valerie Flowers here, and Super Smash Bros. Is my favorite gaming franchise of all time. What Avatar The Last Airbender is to TV shows for me, Super Smash Bros. Is to gaming. I love pretty much just about everything from this franchise, whether it be like all the characters, the gameplay, all the fucking content packed into these games, the music, just the idea of it. It's a really fucking fantastic franchise and will forever be one of my favorite franchises just in general of all time. And yeah, the amount of hours that I have sunk into just about all of these games it's pretty fucking crazy. And the thing is, I'm not even a competitive Smash player. It's just like my game. It's just this. But if I'm ever feeling down or I just want something to do, just pop in just about any Smash game into whatever console I have, and I could play for quite a while. Yeah, not really much else to say for this list. Just my top 5 favorite Smash games. No rules for this list, just if it's a Smash game and I like it, it's gonna be on this list. Granted, some of them are more than others, but still. And again, this is not an objective list, this is just what I like which Smash games I like the most. So if you disagree, that is perfectly fine. I will get a lot of disagreements depending on how many people watch it, but yeah, let's just get right on to this list, starting with the original Super Smash Bros. I'm pretty much obligated to have at the number 5 placement on this list. Not because it's a bad game, not at all. I mean, fuck, if this game didn't exist, then the franchise wouldn't be what it is today. It's just about everything in this game, it does the worst in its series. And again, that's not a bad thing. This is the first game in the franchise. It would be bad if this was the best one. But yeah, Smash 64 is probably the game that I've played the least amount, unless we're talking about Smash 4 for 3DS, which I have not played, and I don't know if I ever really will, because it seems like the Smash game that I had the least reason to go to. But Smash 64, it's a pretty great game to start off the franchise with. So, yeah, we're just going to talk about it a little bit, because, yeah, like I said, just about everything in this game is at its weakest point. Every other game on this list has a great level of gameplay and is packed to the brim with content. And Smash 64, don't get me wrong, compared to its contemporaries, there is, I think, a serviceable amount of content. I mean, you have this arcade mode or classic mode where you get the little minigame diversions with each thing. Board the Platform, surprisingly, has never made a comeback in any of the games unless you count like modding, which I don't. Those are done by fans, not by Nintendo themselves. But Board the Platforms is pretty fun. It by default has the second best target test mode out of any of the games, just each character has their own version of it. Granted, there's not that many characters in this game, only 12, but still. And the gameplay for the time, definitely, it was pretty good. It was very unique, very fresh compared to all the other fighting games again at the time, and it's still pretty good today. Now again, obviously there are definitely reasons why this is not any higher on the list, because, well, there is really nowhere to go but up from here, because the game is pretty slow compared to just about every other game in the series. It's much more floaty than the other games. There's no side special. And again, character-wise, this is a pretty good starting roster, but the rosters just kept getting fucking bigger and bigger with each game. So there's that. And the stage selection is pretty good, although again, there's only about 12 stages as opposed to, or 8 stages. I don't know, but the stages in here are pretty cool. My favorite probably being Saffron City. But unfortunately, you don't get to play Battlefield or Final Destination, so that sucks. Oh yeah, in terms of the classic mode, it's alright, but there is literally no difference in the classic mode, no matter how many times you play. It is literally the same thing every time. Just start off with the Link fight, then a bunch of Yoshis, giant Donkey Kong, middle Mario, and the hands, and again, the mini game diversions are still pretty cool, but other than those and the unlockable characters, the one stage you can unlock and get to unlock the fucking options. Yeah, this game is definitely the worst one here, but again, I would still recommend getting it, if anything, just so you can see where the Smash series started out with, and see how much bigger and better each game got. I feel really bad that I have this game as low as it is, because I've been absolutely fucking loving playing it. But if I'm trying to be more technical here, I guess, I think it deserves the number 4 placement. Smash 4 for Wii U is basically, from the looks of it, regarded in the Smash community as kind of the forgotten one. Why? Not because it's a bad game by any means, yet again, it's just, after Ultimate came out, that game, like, kind of just completely overshadowed this one, which, to be fair, that game is better. We're definitely going to be talking about that one later, but come on, let's give Smash 4 some credit. Like, it's not a bad game in the slightest, because I've seen quite a few people actually saying that this game sucks, which I really don't understand. Now, I definitely have a couple problems with it, but first we're going to start off with pretty much everything great about this game. For starters, it has one of the beefiest rosters in any of the Smash games, 58 characters, goddamn. Again, I know that's not the biggest anymore, but still, 58 characters is nothing to snuff about, especially considering each character plays differently from one another, aside from a couple clone characters, but clone characters have always been in Smash Bros., it's not really a problem. The stage selection is not the best in the series, but there's a lot of really cool stages. Oh yeah, they also introduced the Omega versions of the stages, in case you really fucking hate those stage hazards, you can play without them. And, well, I mean, they're flat stages, but still, it's cool, even though the competitive community never really did use much of them, which kind of sucks. I mean, Nintendo made these for a reason, but whatever. Gameplay-wise, okay, this is why I feel bad about having to put this game lower on the list, because when it comes to the gameplay and fighting in Smash 4, This is like right up my alley. It hits a really good balance of not too slow and not too fast either. Because yes, there is such thing as too fast. Like, the game just feels right to play. I mean, again, it's not the best one out of the series gameplay-wise, but it's pretty damn close to it. It is a little bit floatier, I guess, and the deaths are a bit slower compared to, again, the next one. Again, we'll talk about Ultimate later, but for now, Smash 4 is one of the most balanced games in the franchise, too, other than, with the exception of a few characters. But, yeah, and when it comes to the modes in this game, this is kind of where I'd say the content isn't nearly as good as the ones that come later. Not that it's lacking in content, far from it, it's just, there are some versions of the modes here that aren't exactly, the best in the series. Well, oh yeah, there's also no story or adventure mode of any kind, so that's a bit of a bummer. Classic mode, okay, a lot of people shit on this mode, but to be frank, I actually liked this classic mode. Now, do I prefer it to the traditional ones? Yeah, I don't know if I'd say that, but it's still, I like that you get to choose what battles you want to go to, and the Master Core fight, that's a really neat boss that you have at the end, not just fighting the hands again. Smash Doer is ass, that one I completely agree with. And, I have never gotten to play For Glory because they fucking discontinued the Wii U online service pretty recently, and, you know, the eShop's going to be closing down soon, but yeah, I bet it was probably pretty decent, at least, and DLC-wise, this game is pretty fucking great. Yeah, you get 7 additional characters, Roy being my main, and, containing 2 of the most fucking broken characters in this whole game, Bayonetta and Cloud. And the stages that they brought in were really good, too. I love that they brought back Pirate Ship. And Mario Maker is a pretty cool stage. And Midgar is pretty cool, too. Aside from the fact there's only 2 fucking songs. But, again, I do wish that this game still had a adventure mode of some kind. But, hey, this is the last game in the Smash series to have the event matches and the trophies, which is a bit of a bummer. But still, I like event, again, I know Spirit Battles are basically like the modern equivalent of event matches, but still, I just like event matches, okay? They're really cool. Anyways, like I've said, Smash 4, I think it deserves to still be remembered. And I mean, hey, it is, it's just, again, this game is still really fucking good. Like, yeah, I have it at number 4, and there's 3 games I consider better, and I like a bit more, but when it comes to Smash 4, really, if this game even had an adventure mode or a story mode of some kind, truthfully, it would be at the number 2 spot on this list. But Again, since it's missing a little bit of them, it's at number 4. But hey, being at number 4 on a best Smash games list or favorite Smash games list is nothing to complain about. Anyways, let's move on to the next placement. Okay, just as a mini disclaimer or for the record part, the number 3 and 2 placements are really close together, so just figured I'd point that out there since there's probably still a big debate over which of these two games is better. But at the number 3 spot, I have Super Smash Bros. Melee. AKA the Smash game that the competitive scene is still fucking playing to this day. This game is still a competitive juggernaut, and for good reason. Smash Melee, I would personally consider to be a masterpiece. Now, does that mean it's perfect? Fuck no. But I don't really think a masterpiece needs to be perfect. It's just a really fucking fantastic game. And yeah, let's just get on to talk about everything I love about the game. Yeah, like pretty much everything about it. I really fucking enjoy the gameplay. Is very fast and very aggressive, and while I may prefer the way Smash 4 plays, Melee still has a lot of really cool shit. There's wave dashing, L canceling, a bunch of that stuff. Again, I'm not a competitive Smash player, but I've seen competitive Smash gameplay, and this shit is really fucking awesome. The character roster is even fucking better than Smash 64. Instead of 12, we get 26. And I love pretty much all the new characters. Falco is fantastic, even though again, there are a lot of clones in this game, but still I love the characters they added. Falco, Roy, Mewtwo, all that stuff is pretty cool. Young Link is fine too. Ganondorf, I fucking love Ganondorf. And yeah, again, all the characters play differently too, aside from some of the clones, which play pretty similar, but still different enough to where they're not just wasted character slots. The stage selection is really good in this game too. Literally, really the only stage I dislike out of the 28 or so they have in this game is just Icicle Mountain. But aside from Icicle Mountain, like most of the stages in this game, I do play on quite a bit. Poke Floats is one of my favorites, and Temple and all that stuff. Yeah, when it comes to the modes too, this is where Smash Brothers started getting really content-filled. There's the Classic mode, which is the second best classic mode out of the whole series. For one, you actually get different matches each time you play it. The minigame diversions, I mean, we still have target test, which is even better than Smash 64, based on the fact that you actually get loads of different versions of target test. I mean, 26 characters, just more, we also did snap the trophies, which is a really cool thing. Oh yeah, trophies were introduced in this game too. Those are pretty fantastic. Race to the Finish is cool. And yeah, we did Adventure Mode, which granted, okay, it is mostly the same each time you play it, but you can actually have different outcomes depending on how you play it. Like, if you just play it on easy mode, you just run through the game and you fight Bowser at the end, but if you play it on normal or higher, if you beat it within a certain time limit, you get to fight Giga Bowser, which granted, I haven't really gotten to fight Giga Bowser outside of the event match mode, which we'll talk about later, probably because I fucking suck at Smash Bros, but still, it's cool, and I mean, there are some different variations you can get in the adventure mode, like getting to fight Falco instead of Fox, and Luigi instead of Mario, stuff like that. Oh yeah, event matches, like I brought up, that's really fucking cool too. I love these mission modes in Smash Bros games, and yeah, I think I talked about just about every main mode. There's also the stadium where they introduced a home run contest, which is really goddamn fun in every game that it's in, and I believe it has been in every game since Melee. Multi-man Melee, or Multi-man Smash, as it's called in the later games. It's fine. It can be a fun mode occasionally, but it really just evolves around to find the best strategy to knock all of them out, and then inevitably get blown up by a fucking bomb or something. But, yeah, I think I just thought about everything in Melee. When it comes to the negatives in Melee, the only thing I really have is just, again, Adventure Mode doesn't really change up that much, but other than that, and Icicle Mountain, which is still a really fucking bad stage, Melee, I wouldn't say it's a perfect game technically, but I have no problems with it. It's just a really good game. And I bet some people are going to be pissed at the one that I have above it. Yep, we have Smash Bros. Brawl above Melee. And Look, again, like I said, these two are really not that far apart on the list. Like, I love both of these games hugely. They hold a very special place in my heart. I've sucked in loads of hours into both of these games. But I just prefer Brawl a bit more. And again, I have my reasons for why I do that. Now, let's just get this out of the way. Yes, the mechanics in this game are pretty fucking broken. Not just mechanics, we also have that one character who everyone knows about at this point, so I'm not going to bring him up. But again, the mechanics in this game, yeah, they're not the greatest. This game isn't amazing competitively. However, outside of that, there's just so much to fucking love about Brawl. Like, there's not much else really to say other than that. Content-wise, this is at the number 2 spot. Like content-wise, this game is fucking amazing. You have Classic Mode, which, I mean, is definitely a downgrade from Melee's Classic Mode, mainly because they took out all the little mini-game diversions, which, so you just get fucking break the targets twice, which again does definitely blow a pretty fat load, but yeah, everything else is pretty much just expanded upon Melee. We have the adventure mode, the Subspace Emissary, which, yeah, I fucking love this mode too. Like, I don't really have anything else to say in that regard either. Okay, it's not my favorite mode, gameplay-wise, but there are a couple reasons why you should definitely play it. One, it's a surefire way to unlock all the characters, and two, those fucking cutscenes, man. Like, Subspace Emissary cutscenes, they were legendary back then, and they're still legendary about 14 years after the game's release. And, yeah, you also have all the other mini-game, the little, like, side modes in the stadium, which, again, they're pretty much the same as Melee, so no real point in commentating on them. But then we get the gameplay itself when it comes to the content side of things, which, I mean, I've already been talked about, but I mean, like, characters and stages, that's what I meant. Character selection-wise, this is even better than fucking Melee. Unfortunately, we did get some characters taken out of this game. Some of the notable ones are Roy, I'm very sad about that. Dr. Mario, Mewtwo, Pichu, I don't really care about that one. And Young Link, but they much more than made up for it in terms of the new characters. Wario, Olimar, Diddy Kong, King Dedede, the Demon. Yeah, the character selection in this game is really good. Oh yeah, we also got Sonic and Solid Snake as well. The first game to have third-party characters, which is really fucking cool. And we have the stage selection, which is by far one of the absolute best ones in the whole franchise. Seriously, there are a lot of fucking really good stages in here that I can't even fucking name them. There's just a lot of really good ones. Granted, we have some fucking garbage ones like Hand and Bow, Mario Bros. I do like 75M, but it is very much a trash stage and not at all suitable for fighting on. And there's probably, oh yeah, Rumble Falls, which is the poor man's Kmart version of Icicle Mountain, which Icicle Mountain itself is already bad, but this is even worse. Other than those ones, though, pretty much every other stage in this game is pretty great, at least. We also have this is the first one to introduce the stage builder, and it's the second best one in the series, kind of by default. The one in Smash 4 wasn't fantastic, but this one, it's pretty neat. It is kind of limited, though, but it does lead to some more out-of-the-box thinking, which is pretty good, and I just like fucking around with the stage builder, not really much else to say there. And, oh yeah, I forgot to mention this in Melee, but you get a bunch of these cool little special the special match options. In Melee, you could only set one, but in Brawl, you can select multiple at once, which again, it is kind of limited, but it's still cool that you can, like, you know, have more than just standard fighting. And also, while I may have said that Melee did have some broken mechanics, it's still functional. It's still Smash Bros. It plays well enough. It's definitely slower than Melee, but again, competitively, it's not fantastic, but in terms of the standard gameplay itself, it's definitely more than serviceable. Anyways, that's all I really got to say for Brawl. The soundtrack, we all know Brawl's soundtrack is, like, fucking fantastic. One of the best soundtracks in gaming history, but yeah, Brawl is just a really fucking good game, and I like it a bit more than Melee. Yeah, Melee has better gameplay, but Brawl has better everything else. So, yeah, that's all I really got to say. But again, these two really could be interchanged for all I really care. I love both of these games. However, they are not my number one favorite anymore. that honor goes to, and everyone already knows it at this point. Yeah, everyone knew this was gonna be number one right off the bat. Like, really, what else could it really be other than Smash Ultimate? But I'm not even gonna go on, like, fucking 5 minutes on why this game's at number one. Like, just literally just about everything outside of the target test mode is at its best in Smash Ultimate. Like, literally everything. Character-wise, it's the best. Like, just look at that fucking character roster. Stage-wise, it's even better than the other games. Well, I mean, I like the characters more, but, like, again, stage-wise, Smash Ultimate is at its best. Not only do you get the Omega versions carried over from Smash 4 alongside the newer stages that get Omega variants, you also get the Battlefield variants, you know, just in case you want to actually fight on some fucking platforms. Gameplay-wise, just basically take the speed of Melee and apply Smash 4's general game mechanics to it. It's fucking fantastic. Story mode-wise, I honestly like World of Light more than Subspace Emissary. At least in terms of gameplay, like, nothing beats Subspace Emissary cutscenes, but gameplay-wise, I think I prefer World of Light mode. Classic mode, at its best. Everyone gets their own version. My favorite being reused, because I just love that. I just love the amount of fan service that's put into every Smash game. But yeah, nothing else to really say. Oh yeah, unfortunately, we did get the trophies gutted, but they have been replaced with spirits, and spirits are really fucking cool. Do I like them more than trophies? I don't really know, to be honest, but the spirits are just really cool. Spirit Board is a cool mode. DLC-wise, I don't have all the DLC. I only have, like, the first pack or so. I need to still get that too, but even without DLC, like, this game, like, it's kept me busy for quite a while. Like, fuck, this is the only big fucking Nintendo Switch game I have had ever since I got the console, which, I mean, I would like to get some more of those later down the line, but still, Smash Ultimate is just, like, really so fucking good that it'd be the only one that I have for a while, and I wouldn't really get tired with it. But anyways, that's all I really got to say for this list. Hope y'all enjoyed. I like talking about Smash Bros. Like I've said before, this franchise means a lot to me. But yeah, see y'all later.